It's showtime, everybody. I need a 5x5 real quick so we can get started. Tonight's live stream is dedicated to Rachel. How's it going? Let me just right, that's it. We're all getting everything set up. It's going to be bumper packed, and yeah, we got some stuff to get through tonight. Seriously. So here we go, Pilgrim. Thanks, brother, all the way from the United States. Amazing. Right, let's get straight into it. Now we've got that done. As I said, we've got a very busy show. People are joining the live stream as we speak, so welcome everybody. Especially welcome to 1,298 new subscribers, and we have 6 new members. That is a very, very good news. Also, based on the memberships, I've upgraded all of the memberships so they get early access to all video uploads, and I've kept the price still at £3. So, yeah, excellent. And I know some of you guys who have been watching the videos. Usually, they would be like uploaded by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, give or take, and it doesn't usually air till 7 p.m. So all of the members have been watching the videos way before the masses turn up at 7 o'clock when it goes public. So just for you guys, because really appreciate your support with supporting this channel. It really does mean a huge deal. So to the 1,298, which as I checked on the app just before we come on air, just a quick bit of backstory. This has turned out to be my job. Yes, I'm spreading awareness. Yes, I'm taking a freaking huge risk with all sorts of things that I'm talking about, okay? I feel my time on YouTube is very limited. So, like I'm saying, this has ended up being my job. And donations are very, very important and very welcome. But I'm not begging. I'm just saying if you can, it really helps to go towards the channel, because all of the time I spend is usually doing research into every video that I do. Because as you can appreciate, all of this information is literally coming straight out and going out again. It's going in and out, should I say. Sorry. So it's very sort of time sensitive, should we say. So it's a lot of time goes into research, but not only that, it's trying to weed out the BS, because this is not a BS channel. It really isn't. If any of you are new and you doubt that very much, you've only got to look at 125,000 subscribers who appreciate the work I do. And I've been doing this for 11 years and 12 years now. So people don't last that long with quite a large audience if they're full of BS. Putting it out there. Incidentally, speaking of BS, I had to block 2 people in the chat earlier because they were being massively disrespectful. And this is my channel. It's taken a long time to grow this organically, right from 1 subscriber way back in 2012. And there's no way I'm going to tolerate any disrespect. So, all of you moderators who are moderating the chat tonight, you've got my full blessing. If anyone takes the P, block them. Simple as that. So, with that being said, if you can donate, all of the links are underneath the video. Okay, so just click more, and I think there's 3 different ways. There's PayPal. Someone said to me I should do buy me a coffee, so that's on there as well. And what else is there? Ko-fi as well. So they're all available, plus all of the usual stuff that's in the chat right now. You guys are awesome. Speaking of that, there was a guy called David who donated on PayPal just before we come on air. So thank you very much, David. Absolutely brilliant. And he said Merry Christmas. And it sort of brings it all back. We're in December. Wow. And I've always said this, as soon as we get Halloween, it's Happy New Year. It goes so fast. And I know all of you guys watching right now will understand that. And isn't time going bloody fast? It sure is. Like I said, click on show more. There's loads of links there to deals off. 2 of the affiliates that are doing really well at the moment. So that's great. Mainly because they got huge discounts. So don't forget to check them out. One of them is EcoFlow, offering solutions for power cuts, and the other one is Olight, top-end torches, especially now it gets dark at 4 o'clock. They are really popular, and we've just done a live stream and we give away free stuff. We do that often on this channel, and some of you guys who right from the beginning, I've literally given away about 5 or 6, maybe more, £1,000 of the stuff to loads of strangers. It's what I always used to do. My financial situation was different then. It's way different than it is now. So with that being said, don't forget to sign up to the newsletter, okay? The newsletter or the mailing list is proving to be very, very successful. Now, I'm doing that, as I promised, every single week now. Last week, I think there was 3 newsletters went out. Some of them were huge discounts on kit, giving you guys a heads up before the limited offer time closed. And well done, you guys who jumped on that. You've saved a fortune for all of that stuff. So, yes, but not only that, the newsletter is very, very important. And do you know what? It cost me nearly £60 every single month just to run that regular newsletter. It's very expensive. We've got over 5,500 people signed up currently at the moment, and they'll be getting all sorts of information and stuff which I can't put on here. But one of the reasons why I set up that newsletter or the mailing list was because, due to the nature of the topics which I talk about on my channel, there is a high risk of being deplatformed. So, in other words, no more channel. So this is the only way which I'm going to stay in contact with anyone who really cares about me and my work. Sign up to the newsletter. You'll be glad you did. It's completely free. All you need is a name and an email address. And then every single Monday, maybe Tuesday at the outside, you will be getting that newsletter straight into your inbox. If you have signed up and you had problems or so, please check your junk, spam folders, and non-focused inbox. Okay. Sometimes I drop into that. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. It's quite rare, but nonetheless, it does happen. Right. What else have we got? Yes, the latest news is the website is literally 2 weeks away now. Okay. It is massive. It's going to drop like a bomb. All right. So please sign up to the newsletters if you haven't done so already, because that's going to entitle you to huge discounts, like 50% off of joining up to the members area in the website. It's going to be epic. One of the things which we needed to do was, because when we looked into it, me and my techie mate who's setting up the website, okay, it's all down to Ofcom. Some of the information which is going to be on the website, if it was free, Ofcom would shut the website down, and they do have the powers to do so. The only way that we can get around this, sharing information and growing a really good community, which exists outside of the YouTube woke pathetic terms and conditions, is to put it on a paywall. Okay, we've made it really, really cheap and affordable. It's not going to be expensive. Okay, so we're looking at £2.50 a week or something. It's very, very low. Some people said you should be doing £10 or £20 a week or whatever it is, but I want to keep it affordable because I know, like all of us, we're all struggling. Everything's going up, and we are going to be talking a little bit about the struggles and the prices, etc. Moving forward, we got 671 people in the chat. 707. It's good. We're nearly there, guys. Bear with me. We're going to be getting. I made an absolute wad load full of notes. Okay, there's loads there, and it's just going to be insane because it is looking like at some point we are going to be in a civil war in the UK. Yes, I know it sounds ridiculous. It sounds way far-fetched, but you have to hear me out. And don't forget, if you can, stay right to the end of the live stream, because we are going to be offering real beneficial solutions to navigate around all of this chaos, which is going to be coming down the pipe over the next at least 2 years. Okay, serious stuff. So if you're watching the replay, I encourage you to stay to the end or skip to the end. Okay, it's really important that you wait to the end. Don't forget that. Okay. So what else have we got? We need to take that. Well, we can leave that on there for a while. Just drop it into the chat. Hey everybody, Bloody Hell, Hot Sauce Pilgrim. Awesome, good to see you guys. Regulars as always. 750 people. Good. We are getting there. So what we're going to do real quick is we are going to find out what the very latest is from the security service. And here we are. Okay. MI5, genuine website, no BS. We do this every single week. This is for the benefit of the new guys or some of you guys who aren't aware of this. Okay. In the UK, we have a current national threat level. This is about terrorism and attacks. Okay. Now, the UK is set to substantial, and Northern Ireland, it's even higher. That is severe. So if we look down, these are the 5 outcomes. And as you can see highlighted right in the middle there, substantial means an attack is likely. Severe means attack is highly likely. When you see this one day, critical, that is, if you're not prepared, you could become a victim very easily. So that was very brief what was going on with MI5, the the Secret Service guys, of course. Whether you love them or hate them, imagine what it would be like without them. And I know it's going to cause arguments. We know what they're about, etc., etc. It is a double-edged sword. Okay, so whilst we're waiting for everyone to jump on board, it would be really cool to find out where you guys are watching from, because when we do the live streams, we literally have people all around the world. And yes, it's insane. It still blows my mind. It really does. And we have lots of people coming over from America quite recently, so that's really good to see, because the bonds between America and the UK has always been there, and it always will be. We are all patriots at heart. Unless you're from the left, well, we're going to talk about those loonies later on. Okay. So, what have we got here? First one is someone called Lucy from Birmingham. And we've got Don't Tread on Me, hi brother, from Northampton, cold. Yes, when I come on there, currently outside, it is just gone 8 o'clock in the evening on the 1st of December. Yes, we are now in December. It was minus 3.6 already. Obviously, that's going to get colder. So, yes, it is going to be crazy. And we got Nigel, 10 days left in Gatwick, soon moving to Somerset. Good move. Yeah, excellent move. Get away from the cities if you can. That is my advice. We have got Aero Mech from South Australia. G'day, mate. Amazing. I suppose it's nice and warm over there where you are. In freezing over here, and we've already had snow here in UK today. Let me know if you've seen some snow where you are, guys. I think some of the northeast and the eastern flank has had it, and also I've got a friend over in County Durham. He's had a fair bit of snow already. So yeah, that'd be cool. We have got Jay over in Manchester. Awesome. What have we got here? We got Barbara right there, who is a member. Well done. Always good to see members in the house from Northampton, where they make really good shoes. Who else have we got? We have got Mama Todd up in Scotland, another member. Hi there, how's it going? And we've got Beard Box, one of the guys who won one of the O-Light torches. Let me know if you got it all okay, because I've heard from a person earlier who got back to me, said they've received it. If you haven't, let me know and I'll chase it up for you, brother. In BRECON, yeah, I bet it's well cold up there in BRECON. We have got Andrew over in Middlesbrough. Hi, mate. Well done. Look at this. Everyone's coming in. 862. So we're nearly that magic number of 1,000. So we can jump in to this really crazy topic. But I know some of you guys already. I think Karen was saying, I don't think it's going to happen. Wow. Guess what? How many people said that's not going to happen before we saw all of the gas chamber stuff in Germany? How many times did we hear that won't happen before they dropped a nuclear bomb on Hiroshima? Do you know what I mean? People always say that, then it happens. So just because it hasn't happened to you doesn't mean to say it won't. Just saying. But don't worry, because we're going to go into it. And maybe you might change your mind after you've listened to all of this stuff, which we've got to go through. We have got Roscoe from Dundee. Awesome. Oh, look at that Celtic cross. That's beautiful. We have got Phoenix Snake UK in Lancashire. Hi. Brilliant. Oh, look, Grumpy Grandad from Hereford, home of the SAS. Good to see you, Grandad. Epic. We have got Liz from a freezing Liverpool. Yeah, I think it's pretty cold all over the UK right now. Who else have we got? Cornish, Cowboy from Liscard, nice part of the world, down in Cornwall. Brilliant. And we have got Rustic Journals from Scotland. Wow, we've got a few in Scotland already. I bet it's extra cold up there. Who have we got here? We've got Stephen over in Preston. How you going, Stephen? And who is this? We've got Air KJ Wales in London. Wow, good to see you. Awesome. And we've got Alan over there in Staffs. Brilliant. Oh, look at that. A very, very good guy. If you've met him at the prepper meet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, brother, good to see you. Fire Pit Friday. I'll probably think not. It's probably a bit cold, man, you know. A bloody cold Brecon Beacons. Yeah, for sure. And we have got Mr. Mental Music Makers from Canada. Wow, our first Canadian in the house. Awesome. Good to see you here, brother. Very, very cool. And we got Jody up in the Scottish borders. Awesome. Awesome. And we got e-scooters, rides and bikes from Bristol. Really sorry about that. It can't be helped. Hi, Joe. We have got Raymond over in Stalybridge. Nice, 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 nice. And check it out. We have got JF all the way from Oceanside in CIA, California. Awesome. Brilliant. California. Used to be a lovely part of the world. I don't know about now because it's all got a bit left. 976. We're not far away, guys. When it gets to 1,000, we're going. So, um, come to bed eyes. Oh, I say Stonehenge in Wiltshire. Awesome. We love Stonehenge. Lovely part of the world. We got Mark over in Mid Organ in South Wales. Good to see you, Mark. Sorry, my Welsh accent sucks. I'm in Mid Wales. We don't have no accent here. Ed Benoit from New York. Wow, awesome. Do you know what? I've got a good friend of mine over in New York, and he was saying about how bad it is with crime, with the police leaving and etc. So yeah, New York not a safe place to be, and I'm guessing lots of cities, probably in the UK as well. I know Birmingham's having a nightmare, and indeed London. Let me know what you think in the chat and in the comments as well. We've got Ralph in Manchester, awesome. And we have got Laura in the UK, Southend back in the house. That's cool. And we got Peace Smart in West Cumbria, brilliant. We have got Michael over in Kings Lynn in Norfolk. Wow, I know that place. And who have we got here? Time Lord in Gallifrey. Ah, must be in Ireland. Listen, we've got a little bit to talk about Ireland as well. Okay. Not many people in the UK are talking about what's going on in Ireland, but my God, we're going to dive into that. So any of you Irish fellas and ladies, stay tuned. We have got stuff to talk about there. Yes. We got Jack over in the Eastern States. Excuse me. We have Little Kitty in Lichfield. Hi. And we have got Pistol 68 over in Stoke. That's awesome. And lastly, but not least, we've got Trinity 88 in Texas. As you know, Texas is Zion, the last place in America before it falls. Right, okie dokie. Let's remove that from the screen and let's get started. Okay, so for you guys in the replay, in the comment section, if you could put the timestamp on the video, 17:35 is when we start. Right, okay, we're starting the live stream right now. We've got a fair amount of people in the house. So I want you to listen to what I'm about to read out. And I want you to use your imagination, okay, as I'm saying this, because we've all been through this and most of us can see where it's going, okay? So let's go. If we accept the fact that a QR code grants us access to society, what makes you think they won't use that to link to anything else except your poke status? What if that green screen on your phone that grants you access to society turns red the moment you take one flight too many, or you eat too much meat, or you didn't recycle your plastic yesterday? What if your green screen on your phone that is linked to your digital wallet that's filled with nothing more than central bank digital currency will turn red the moment you say something the government classes as hate speech? What if they can turn off your life at the push of a button? If they can do it in China, they can do it here. Freedom is limited to what the government wants you to say and do what the government wants. It is not freedom, it's imprisonment, a prison without bars. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the road that we are currently traveling on. And I know it sounds like a true dystopian nightmare. This isn't science fiction. This could actually happen. But we have to ask ourselves, what can we do as a community to stop it? Now, stay tuned to the end of the video if you want to hear me talk more about solutions rather than what's actually going on. All of this stuff, which I've written down, is in no particular order, but nonetheless, we are talking about a civil war here in the UK. Now, before we get started, I'm just going to show you what the definition is of a civil war This is for the benefit of Karen and others. So here we go. Civil war. I've highlighted it so you can see it. A civil war between organised groups in the same country. The aim of one side may take control of the country to achieve independence for the country to change government policies. Okay, that is pretty much what a civil war actually is. So when you think about what's happened since 2020 and even before leading up to 2020, what have we got here in the UK right now? We have got division. Division mainly with two sides. Just like we said, the ingredients for a civil war is two sides against each other, with one of them coming out victorious. Whoever the victors are, they are going to be the ones who change policy for everyone. Okay. In America, you've got the liberals, Democrats, sorry, and you've got the conservatives. So pretty much, broadly speaking, you've got the left and the right. And I know some of you guys know that it's literally two wings of the same bird. They're all being controlled and orchestrated from one central point. Most of us agree and is aware of that. Okay. So what have we got? We have got people who felt it was good to wear a mask. We felt it was good for them to use hand sanitizer. Some people thought it was good to do social distancing, to walk wherever the arrows said they had to walk through. Basically, total compliance. Those who thought it's a great idea to have that sort of thing going on. Okay, you see where this is going? And on the same side, pretty much broadly speaking, the same sort of people who are really thinking it's a good idea for the woke, okay? Pronouns, all of that BS, all of these ridiculous amounts of genders and kids wanting to pretend to be cats in class. And we're talking shared toilets, boys and girls at school with adults as well, sex education from the age of 5 years old. Really. So you can pretty much put that group on one side. And in that group, you can also add to the fact that cash is dirty, it spreads germs and diseases, etc. It's old-fashioned. We should be absolutely using our phones, using these contactless payments. We should boycott all cash-only stores, etc. That's in the same group, pretty much. Okay, so you are looking at all of these types or classes of people who believe in all of that, and basically believe whatever they read in the newspapers, on the mainstream TV channels, radio networks, etc. Okay, people who believe what the governments say is good and for their benefit. People who go to the doctors thinking doctors are actually going to help them. Okay, thinking if they get broken into, they don't have to do anything. They're going to phone the police and they're going to be fine. We're pretty much understanding of the fact that that is one frigging group of people. Okay. Yes. And in the same group of people with that are people who believe climate change is real and it's human beings who are causing it. Okay. That group of people. And then everyone else is on the other side. So the other side, you're looking at people who are against mass migration, especially illegal migration. Incidentally, the other group you can add onto that, that lots of these people say they would take these refugees or migrants into their homes, but they don't actually do. They're full of BS and hot air. Okay, all of these sorts of people in one group. Okay, so looking at civil war now, you've got that huge big group of people pretty much agreeing with the same sort of thing. All right, then you've got the other group, and the other group is us. We have been dubbed, deemed by the mainstream, moreover, quite recently, within the last 2 years especially, is anyone who disagrees with whatever the government is saying and what the mainstream press are saying. Anyone who disagrees is labelled extreme right, far right, or right extremist, etc., or conspiracy theorists, or anti-vaxxers. Okay, so you've got two groups of people. So absolutely, that is a huge, big set of ingredients for a civil war. Because when we start deep diving into this, hopefully you're going to understand where I'm coming from. Right. So think about those two groups of people, divide and conquer, etc. And yes, one group is absolutely funded. And I'm going to leave it to you to tell me in the chat and the comment section, what group do you think the left or the right, is funded and has got the back of the police, the government, and military. Okay, so let's go back to 2020. Okay, now I believe that that was literally like a button being pressed. Okay, buttons that were pressed before are the moon landings, absolute BS in my opinion. Okay, let's see how gullible the masses are. Okay, then you had the Roswell thing in the 50s, complete BS. The moon landing, complete BS. Then you had 9/11, okay, complete BS what they were saying. Then you had 7/7 in London, complete BS what they were saying. Then you had, guess what? 2020 and all of that, complete BS what happened. There's many others in amongst that sort of time frame, but we're going to just gloss over 2020. The reason being is because that year, so many fundamental changes happened. And if you watch the live stream that myself and Jason Brashear's done, his YouTube channel is called RKX. We talked in depth about just this sort of thing. Okay. And he believes that 2020 was the first seal being broken in the book of Revelation. You don't have to be religious or a Christian to study the book of Revelation. I have a long time ago in my research. And there is so much hidden stuff in that book. And they say that the book of Revelation is at the end of the Bible, where in fact it should be at the beginning. Now, some of the errants will understand what I'm saying here. Most people probably won't. If you're completely lost or out of control of what I just said, check out RKX and what we talked about seals being broken. Okay, the second seal isn't far away. All right, we're nowhere near the 7 years of tribulation. Okay, we're nowhere near Armageddon or the apocalypse. In actual fact, we are in the apocalypse when you think about it, because if you don't fully understand what the word apocalypse means, this is fundamental brainwashing from the mainstream side of things. Okay, all apocalypse means is unveiling. That's all it means. Apocalypse doesn't mean the end of the world, blah blah blah. It is not. Okay, so all of the mainstream movies, films, documentaries, etc., 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 will have you believe that apocalypse is the end of days. It's not. It's unveiling. And since 2020 happened and the first seal was broken, the apocalypse started. So, what we are talking about, the unveiling of truth. People like me and many others who are trying their best to get this sort of information out there to the dumbed down, brainwashed masses who need to be aware. So, what have we got in 2020 then? Okay, we had the lockdown. In my opinion, it was a mass exercise. It was a data gathering exercise, 100%. Okay, so many holes in the mainstream story. It's laughable now. It really, really is. But unfortunately, we still have a rather large element that believes whatever the government done in 2020 was absolutely the right thing to do for our safety. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that most people watching this video right now are in agreement that the 2020 project was a great big exercise. It wasn't real. Let me tell you this, if it was real, like the mainstream are having you believe it was real, wouldn't you have thought that every single country, so every single hospital in the country would be ram-packed? There would be queues outside, there would be bodies all over the place, morgues everywhere, etc. No. What did we actually see? We saw people like you and me going into hospitals and filming all of the time this lockdown first started. And guess what? Every single video, we're talking hundreds, and this is just in the UK. I know it went on in America and Australia and all other parts of the world. Hospitals were empty. So ask yourself this, if a real, genuine pandemic which killed millions and millions of people, would you think that all of the hospitals would be empty? And to rub insult into injury, you would see it very short staffed. So we're talking nurses doing freaking dance routines. Really? Do you remember the brainwashing exercise that they got people to stand outside their houses at 8 o'clock and clap for the National Health Service? And they did. Oh my God, they freaking well did. And let me tell you this, whoever's running this exercise was privy to all of these people doing that. And you know what? I bet you any money they were laughing their bollocks off. They were completely laughing their nuts off because all that was a psyop exercise to see how professionally done their campaign was for this great big crock of horse shit with this exercise in 2020. It's incredible. In my opinion, it was a massive data gathering exercise. So this is when it's all really started for me in 2020. Like I said, there's been all sorts of issues leading up to 2020, but you can't help but agree 2020 changed a lot of things. Okay, so what we're talking about control. They wanted to see how compliant people were. Like I keep saying, it was a data gathering exercise. Every single country all around the planet, roughly the same time, was given script, pretty much. Okay, every country had their own government, and they was all told to do these sorts of things in these sorts of places at these sorts of times. They're pretty much the same sort of narrative going out in the mainstream media, giving people fear. Don't forget, the more scared people are, the more easy they are to be controlled. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to control as many people as possible by fear. That's an age-old tactic which they've been using for eons. Okay, so like I said before, masks, hand sanitizer, social distancing, one-way walking arrows in the shops. Remember those? Excuse me. Then they had the temperature thing. You know when they put that laser red dot, infrared dot on your forehead to check your temperature? Ridiculous. There's so many ways you could have got around that. If you was really, really cold, you thought you might have had it. All you need is a hand warmer, and you put it on your head and take it off at the last minute. And go and check the temperature. Yeah, you're fine. It's complete BS. Okay. Now listen, who wants an infrared beam shone right at their pineal gland? You've got to be awake to sort of know what that means. Okay. They call it the American dream because you've got to be asleep to believe. George Carlin said that. Some of you guys know who I'm talking about. Also, we saw a mass rollout introduction of QR codes. Now we're going to be talking about QR codes in a bit because without QR codes, none of this big exercise would be able to work. Barcodes, no. QR codes, that is what is different, right? Then we had that as well, because you got to stay safe and all of that sort of thing. Also, you had like a certification. Okay, so if you had that and you was healthy and safe, you was allowed to go into public buildings to travel. It was like a little roller exercise, but it didn't really have much weight in it because a lot of people saw through it, thank God. And travel restrictions. Who remembers the travel restrictions back in the day? If you wanted to go and have your exercise, your right to exercise in a local park, and you was there for too long, you could have been arrested or moved on. Do you remember seeing all of the kids' playgrounds that were all locked up? Yeah, I witnessed that. It's disgusting what they've done. And it's an age-old thing. The bigger the lie, the more believable it is. How many times have you spoken to friends who are on the other side of the fence and they were saying, there's no way they could keep that secret. People would talk. Well, guess what? People did try to talk. And you know what? They are no longer here. Fact. How many doctors, how many scientists who spoke the truth are not here? Died in mysterious circumstances. It's all documented. But let me tell you this, you have to act quick because the information online is being deleted as we speak. Spoke about this in our live streams, okay? Also, we had pre-booked appointments, like going to the tip to get rid of your rubbish. Do you remember that? You had to book in advance. You had to fill in an online form, give them all of your details, and that horrible button right at the end, submit. Oh, I hate that word, submit. I don't submit to nobody. No way, Jose. And also, who remembers the phone-only appointments with the GPs? You weren't allowed to go into the doctors. You had to do it over the phone. So you could literally make something up, act over the phone, and go and get antibiotics, for example. And there's nothing wrong with it. That absolutely got abused in 2020. And also, We had hospital appointments that were cancelled. Now, how many of you were due to have a hospital appointment in 2020 and it got cancelled and it got delayed so much that it made the injury or whatever the surgery was supposed to be just unworkable? It ruins people's lives. Okay. How many certified cases of the flu was there in 2020? Zero. There wasn't one single reported flu reported incident in 2020. First time human history. Yeah. You smelling the rat yet already? Everything was blamed on the issue. Okay. So also one of the things which really grated on me, now I'm sure some of you guys would probably agree, when it all started back in March in 2020, care homes. Remember that? Care homes. No one was allowed to visit the elders. Whilst they were in a care home, scared stiff, with all of these people coming in to check on them wearing masks, hazmat suits. It's just disgusting. And it was all a quite big act. It was just insane. And lots of these elders who were unfortunately happened to be in a care home at the time are no longer with us. We have been hearing reports recently about these, what's the names administered, and the dosage was like 17 milligrams, which should have been 3. I think some of you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, it was mixed with morphine, etc. It was genocide, basically. It was just literally killing our elders. And that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. You know, that upset so many people, rightly bloody so. People have got a natural right to be angry. That is a basic human emotion, anger, because we've been lied to. Don't believe me? Speak to the people in the chat or the comment section. They'll tell you fundamentally, for our whole lives, pretty much we've been lied to about all sorts of things. Okay. Doctors destroy health. Okay. Solicitors and judges destroy justice. Fact. It's unbelievable. Everything's back to front when you really, really look into it. Okay. It's crazy. And then you had the isolation. So in 2020, lots of people were scared and they was on their own in flats, houses, etc. They didn't want family, friends, or loved ones to visit them in case they caught something which could kill them. Thanks to the mainstream media for that one. And who remembers all of the crisis actors? Yeah. There's been so much evidence of people filming with their phone, a film crew turned up outside a hospital, set everything up, filmed, acted, recorded it, and that got edited and put on the news that night or the next night. And people were filming with their phones, this being filmed. And it was just an act. All of it was an act. It's absolutely insane. But not only that, we had all of the plastic barriers on the tills. And there are some businesses still with those in place. Most places that I've seen in the middle of Wales, the supermarkets, etc., have removed all of those barriers. And that's good. Because to be honest, if you're talking about one of the most deadliest pandemics in recent history, do you really think a piece of 6mm thick perspex is going to stop that killer, highly transmissible virus? It's just going over the top and into the air and everywhere. It's complete BS. It's all stage fake nonsense. And incidentally, the price of perspex went 600% more when all that was going on. So the perspex companies back then were making an absolute fortune. Unbelievable. And you had flights being cancelled. Travel restrictions were unbelievable. I remember driving on dual carriageways, and I was the only car there. No one around for hours. Just weird. I was literally existing in an apocalyptic movie. It's crazy. And I know some of you guys did as well. You experienced that. That actually really happened, you know. Crazy. Like I said, we had nurses dancing in hospitals. There was empty. And who remembers the Nightingale hospitals? Now, I didn't realise that there was 5 in the UK. I thought there was just one. No, I had them all over the place, and they cost millions to set up. And guess what? To my knowledge, I don't think they admitted one single patient. So all of that millions of pounds spent with our public money, our taxes, funded all of that mock hospitals, all for the mainstream media to spread more and more fear. This is how bad it is. The hospitals are being overrun. We've got to set up these extra ones because we can't cope. Guess what? The hospitals are empty, and so are these extra ones empty. They filmed it all, made it all look really bad to put more fear to control more people. And lots of people, unfortunately, fell for it big time. So, 2020, that was a trigger. We're moving on. So, civil war in the UK. Like I said, you've got two sides, right? And we spoke about this right at the beginning of the live stream. If you're joining now, you're going to have to go back for, I don't know, 20 minutes in or something when that was explained about the civil war. Right. So, Ireland. When I said earlier in the chat that we had folk in Ireland watching right now, yes, I want you to email me of what's really going on, because you know what, it's proven quite difficult to get information out of Ireland. It's almost like it's turning into a mini China. It's getting really hard to get information out of Ireland, and I do worry big time because the Irish people are fantastic people, absolutely worth their weight in gold. The Irish, I love them to bits. They are genuine, really good, hardworking people, and they're putting up a lot from the Guardia. Guardia. Bloody hell, I don't my stomach. That's not good. Anyway, so we got council leaders. So this is the guy apparently running Ireland. Yeah, really? Guess what? This is in quote. He said, okay, right-wing people who protested over the child stabbing should be shot in the head or killed by an angry mob. This is the leader, wherever he is, prime minister, president. I think it's probably a prime minister. I don't know. Let me know what his official title is. Yeah, can you believe that? They should be shot in the back of the head or killed by an angry mob. So how come we have people like that in a prestige position of power, allegedly? How can he say that and not be dealt with hate speech? You've heard the word hate speech, okay? Now, the fundamental question every single bloody person should be asking whenever they're met with that term hate speech is who defines, who decides what is hate speech, okay? Who decides? I'd love to know who that is. And at some point, do you know what? They're going to say, we've handed it over to AI now, and they're dealing with whatever's decided as hate speech. Whoa. If you can't see implications of that, there's not much I can do for you. You're just going to need to just pray that nothing crazy happens to you. Unbelievable. So, in my opinion, if you want to go down that road and make it a fair playing field, what that guy said, who is apparently in charge of Ireland, that's hate speech. If you want to define it as the mainstream narrative dictates. Okay. Now, who knows Conor McGregor? Mixed martial arts, MMA. Okay. This guy has got a massive following. He's got millions and millions and millions of followers worldwide. I don't watch MMA myself, but you know I've come across his name now and again. It's probably hard not to because he's quite a famous guy, and I know that he's well loved and well respected. He's a God-fearing man over in Southern Ireland. Listen, when that child was stabbed and subsequently died, apparently, let me know if I'm right or wrong. I didn't have time to really go into this, but apparently that girl died, stabbed by one of these migrants. Okay, Connor, he spoke out against this, and you know what? Every single word that he put in those two tweets on his Twitter or X account, I fundamentally agree and stand by with every single word Conor McGregor said. Okay, now guess what? He's being investigated for that. Unbelievable. And what he's saying is the absolute truth. People in general are sick to the back teeth of our government who we elect, apparently. They are letting in all of these fighting age male migrants, unvetted, unchecked, into our country, causing frigging havoc. One girl has lost her life now. How many more? We saw what happened. People kicked off in Ireland, and rightly so. They should vent their discord and anger on what happened, because that literally is a mouthpiece for how the majority of all of the UK are feeling. Guess what? most people haven't got the frigging balls to say it how it is. It's one of the things why I say if you haven't signed up to my newsletter, and that is below, you need to do so because me talking like this, my days could be really numbered, taking a risk talking about this stuff. But people need the balls to talk about this stuff because it's true. Okay, it is just ridiculous. Like I said, he is being investigated. Now, apparently, in 1 year, so this year alone, Ireland has had 141,000 migrants into their country. Unbelievable. Unfriggin' believable. And we are, excuse me, we are seeing the same here in England, Scotland, and Wales too. It's literally way out of control. It's been way out of control for a long time. So, bearing in mind, we're talking about civil war and the ingredients which will lead to it. Okay, woke. Yes, who loves the woke stuff? Okay, cancel culture. Whoa! If you speak out against the woke narrative, so pronouns, LGBTQ plus, bloody whatever it friggin' is now, if you speak out against it, guess what? You are either a conspiracy theorist or right wing or extreme right wing, or you're from the far right. Incidentally, going back to what Conor McGregor was saying, and we're talking about the leader of Ireland. Who remembers what was happening in 2020? Do you remember how dystopian it was with the reports that finally made it out of Ireland of how bad the citizens were being treated by the Garda? Unbelievable. There was this elderly woman who was arrested and dealt with for doing nothing in particular. And she was interviewed by the press. And you know what? The journalist, journalist, if you can believe it, is an actual freaking journalist. They're repeaters, as David Wake used to say. They just repeat stuff without investigating, like some of the research stuff that we do. Okay, guess what? The journalist said to this elderly woman, "What does it feel like to be far right?" You know what she said? She looked at the journalist and she said, "What's far right?" She had no idea. That speaks frigging volumes, big time. It's unbelievable. This is classic divide and conquer, and it is the main ingredient for a frigging civil war one of these days. You need two fundamentally opposed factions on either side who will literally tear each other apart. And it's all being controlled by people who we're never going to know about. Okay, forget people in the public arena. Okay, if you really think the elites, and don't call them the elites. Okay, why give them that energy? Why big them up? Call them traitors. Okay, so basically, when you think about it, the architects have gone. Only the managers are left. These are just managers. So we're talking Klaus Schwab, we're talking King Charles, we're talking Bill Gates, we're talking Treader. All of these people, okay, they are not elites. They are not in control. Anyone who is publicly known, wealthy, Tony Blair, whatever it is, anyone who is publicly known are not the true elites. They are puppets. They are doing as they're told for financial and political power and gain. That's all it is. They're just egotistical, psychopathic, truly psychopathic, evil people. Okay? So you're never going to know who's really pulling the strings. These people, we're talking the extreme top level banking cartels and organizations and families all over the world, you're not going to know who they really are and who they're connected to. So you get that straight. Cancel culture. So that's basically it. No one ever gets cancelled for being too woke. Okay. So if you say, for example, men can have babies, okay, blah 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 blah, which is absolutely BS. It's biologically impossible. Men haven't got a womb. Okay, they haven't got ovaries. How the hell can they produce a child? It's impossible. But these woke, strange, bloody, unbelievably stupid, controlled, manipulated, brainwashed idiots. What do you think? Let me know in the chat in the comment section. I'll be really keen to know what you think about these people who generally believe that men can have babies. Okay, they don't get cancelled. Okay, that's just nuts. But if you speak out against it, so if you think it's well out of order for schools, you have mixed toilets. And yeah, I know some people in France say we've always had mixed toilets and it hasn't been a problem. Fine, that's okay. But let me ask you this: mixed toilets in schools for children. How would you feel if adults went in those toilets as well? So you've got one toilet block. Anyone of any age and any sex can go in there at any time. How would that make you feel as a parent? How would you feel knowing that your 7-year-old daughter is at school and she wants to go to the toilet and the caretaker, 60 odd years old guy, goes in there? You don't know what is past this. Yes, I know. Anyone that works in the education system is get by Ofsted and they're going to be police checked. But there's loads of ways you can get around that because people who have committed loads of like sex crimes and stuff who have never been arrested, they're not known. And they're the guys or girls who are going to slip through the net and they're going to be doing disgusting things to our children in schools, in the toilets. Okay. Surely that can't be right. It boils my pee when I hear stories that have happened when kids have come home from school, they're traumatized, they tell their mum and dad what happened, and my God, the father goes straight to school, there's a punch up, all the rest of it. It's way out of control. This is what they want. Is it okay for male drag queens to go into classrooms and talk about sex education and think it's absolutely perfectly normal to cover your face in makeup as a man and wear high heels, stockings, and everything else? It's just wrong. Sorry if you disagree, but I think it's fundamentally wrong. It's disrespectful and it should not happen at all. It's highly inappropriate and it should never ever happen. This is what's happened since 2020. That was definitely a switch being pressed. Okay, unbelievable. Then kids in school, college, and university. So basically, you're looking at the so-called education system. It's 100% been hijacked. It is basically an indoctrination system. Okay, children go into the education system, and if they stay right up to university age and come out, say, early 20s or so, they've had literally from 5 or 6 years old right up to their 20 something high level, skillfully manipulated, controlled stuff put into their heads. Exactly what they want. It's exactly what they want. We could talk about climate change and how brainwashed kids are at schools these days. Unbelievable. So, what are the teachers and what are the parents doing? Now, I know some teachers have been speaking out against all of this freaking transgender nonsense. Okay, there is two genders, male and female. If you're confused to what you are, all you need to do is look down there, and it will confirm instantly what gender you are. Okay. So, with all of that being said, I have got no problem at all. Now, this is important. This is important, and this needs to be said. Over the age of 18, legally, you are then an adult. Okay. Anyone over the 18, I've got no problem if you're gay, lesbian, you've had a sex act. I've got no problem with that at all. It's your decision. You're an adult, therefore you're allowed to make that decision what you want to do to yourself. Okay, it's absolutely fine, and I've got no problems with it at all. The problem that I've got is anyone, I don't care who they are, what sex they think they are, or what gender they think they are. The problem I've got is any of these people putting this brainwashed dystopian evil nightmare into anyone under the age of 18. Anyone. So from birth right up to 18 years old. Anyone in that age bracket who is being subjected to this crazy woke alphabet people nonsense, anyone who is involved perpetrating and carrying out those things, first thing that needs to happen, they all need to be sacked. First thing. After that, you can make your mind up on what you think happened to these. And I can't even put them in categories of people. I struggle because they have been brainwashed, they've got mental problems, and these people should not be in our should be democratic society. This country used to be amazing, an incredible place to be. People have fought and died for this country. Look at that flag. It means a lot to a lot of people, especially veterans. I'm a veteran. I know veterans are watching now. And, these people have lost brothers, sisters, flipping friends and family defending that flag and our freedoms. And look what's happened. Oh my God. These poor souls who are no longer with us will be turning in their grave if they witness what is actually going on here in the UK. Unbelievable. It really is unbelievable, but it's happening. And listen, this is a shout out to anyone who is watching this right now who thinks I'm spreading fear porn, etc. Listen, we are an aware prepping community. If you want to go and bury your head in the sand and say kumbaya and think Jesus or something is going to come and save you, very much mistaken. Absolutely. It's down to us, no one else. Okay? You can believe whatever you want to believe. That's absolutely fine. It's your belief. No one's coming. Okay? It's crazy. It's true. It's really happening. If you want to bury your head in the sand, that's fine. Every now and again, you can probably do it for a week or a few days. It's quite good to do that. But if you're doing it all of the time, you're part of the problem because we all need to do something. Okay? Unbelievable. Also, who heard that report of condom sweets on the shelves in Sainsbury's supermarkets? Yeah, some of you have got no idea what I'm talking about. Some of you may think I'm completely making it up. Go and check it out online. It's unbelievable. They were selling sweets aimed at children, low down on the shelves, colourful packaging, absolutely aimed at 5 and 6-year-old kids. Condoms. Yeah, sex education sweets, I think they were called. It was picked up by some patriots here in the UK. They filmed it. They approached the staff and the management, and they said it's highly inappropriate and completely unacceptable. And thank God that movement worked, and they have now been taken off the shelves, and they will no longer be available in any UK supermarkets. It was them trying to push their luck, wing their way in. Guess what? It got sussed. This is what we need to do. We need to do pushbacks as and when. It's just not right. It's absolutely not right. It's crazy. So, bloody hell, look at the time. Blimey. Yes, I will be taking part in a beverage at some point. Oh my God. Thank you for the donations, everyone. You're out. You're amazing. And we've got a new member too. Fantastic. And thank you, everyone on PayPal for donating. We have to crack on. I'm really sorry, but I am thanking you and I mean it. It's incredible what you guys do. Climate. Now, COP28. Who heard the King talk? This was today, okay, or it might have been yesterday. Now, guess what? COP28 is happening in the UAE, United Arab Emirates, around the Dubai area right now. Okay, it's all about climate stuff. We spoke about this. Climate change is literally a thread which runs through frigging everything. Okay, so guess what? There will be more laws coming out next year. Okay, every time we have a COP meeting, it's usually 6 to 8 months. You will see new laws and regulations, mainly about climate or what you can and can't do. I highly suspect this is all linked to SDGs, right? Sustainable Development Goals. We spoke about this hundreds of times on this YouTube channel, okay? All part of the United Nations Agenda 2030, and some of it affects Agenda 21 as well, if you understand what I'm saying. Links with the World Economic Forum and, like I said, the United Nations. We are talking about carbon wallets in some banks. They are doing it already. They're trying it already. I think Lloyd's TSB, I think it's Lloyd's now. They are doing it right now. Okay. Anyone who banks here in the UK, let me know in the chat or the comment section if you've been notified by your bank any sniff about carbon credits, digital wallets, and carbon wallets, etc. Offsetting carbon footprints. Now, it doesn't take a genius to work out that the mainstream narrative are saying that vast amounts of CO2 in the atmosphere is making the planet do crazy things. Okay. Well, what would happen if there was no carbon in the atmosphere? You know what would happen? We would all die. Every single living organism on planet Earth would die, would cease to be. Carbon is 100% natural and essential to bio life. Bio is life, okay, in Latin, if you didn't know. So yes, so when they say reducing your carbon footprint, what they're actually meaning is they're reducing the amount of people on the planet under the guise of green energy, etc. So, no to sustainable technology. So we're looking at wind turbines, solar panels. It is just simply not enough to sustain society on the planet. It's not enough, and it never will be. Okay, it is absolutely not going to cut it. There is the way everything is being driven towards high energy consumption. There's no way that renewables, I think we call it, is not going to sustain that growth. Impossible. Okay. So we are thinking of like with all of that linked in, energy prices are rising. Okay, absolutely happening. EV cars and lorries, they're absolutely pointless. They're no good. What are you going to do with all the batteries after? There's not enough resources on the planet to make all of these batteries for electric cars. There's not enough with infrastructure to charge and keep the whole planet moving pretty much with energy. It's just not enough. Okay. And these batteries are dangerous. Some of them explode. Okay. Unbelievable. So it's the same old thing, okay? When you bear in mind inflation of how skint everyone is, okay, people are going to try and find the cheapest option that they can afford. And if they really want to, or they're forced into it, they must have an EV, electric vehicle. They're going to get the cheapest one possible. More often than not, you start getting really cheap lithium batteries, they are going to explode. They will. It's just down to maths. Okay. The good quality ones, they're pretty cool, okay? Even the EcoFlow stuff, which I sell on this YouTube channel, that link's below. It's been really popular lately. That stuff's got 17 safety features built in to their high-end battery systems. You do get what you pay for. But like I said, the really cheap stuff, they do explode. There's so much stuff on online about vehicles, scooters, mopeds, whatever it is, explode. Highly freaking dangerous, completely unacceptable. Okay. Also, they need long charge times. They go shorter distance over the battery as it dies. So, what do you do with the batteries after? Can they be recycled? Is it a pain in the ass? I remember seeing photographs of all of these electric vehicles, fields and fields of them in France. I don't know what to do with them. Where do they go? It's ridiculous. They obviously haven't thought it through, have they? No, Jack. They obviously haven't. And also, they're saying about turning the heating down in your home to 16 degrees. Now, who feels nice and comfortable with a t-shirt and 16 degrees? I don't. So that's what they want. And you can bet the bottom dollar that these so-called people running the show and all the rich, wealthy people, they're going to be living the life of Buddy Riley. They're going to be having the best ground-fed beef, organic, etc., grass-fed. They're going to have the heating on. They're going to have full luxury. Why us lot? Yeah. No, anything more than 16 degrees. I remember a report come out in Switzerland that if you had your heating over 16 degrees and you was found that to be the case, you would be fined and sometimes imprisoned. How scary is that? I know. So you're looking, well, the time, just quickly, my favourite of all time. If you want a good ale, get that one. 1698. Make sure you keep it straight, level, and still. It's bottle conditioned. That means that it's got sediment in the bottom, so you be very careful how you pour it. King George original pint pot, a neck on the top, and pour. I'm doing it right over a keyboard, full confidence. It has to be done at the right speed, boys and girls. You can't rush this unless you want a great big flippy floppy fluffy head like you get in Europe. That's not a beer. That's just something to freaking shave with. In the UK, heads on our beer is something like that, how it should be. Anything more, it's incorrect and it's stupid. Cheers, everybody. Mm. Oh, I do love that stuff. So, what else? Coal, peat, wood. It's all natural stuff. Okay, it's in the earth. It gets heated up, burnt, and it gets used, and there's still loads of it down there. And it's a recyclable process. Okay, where do you think coal comes from? Coal comes from old wood, old trees that have been buried in the earth for a long, long time. Okay, so you start digging all of that up. other trees are going to fall down and down to the earth, and it's so the process starts again. Okay, that's just coal. Wood, trees, absolutely, they can be grown very fast for firewood, and all they need to do is just keep up with using and planting to make sure there's an endless supply. It's not difficult to do when you think about it. Peat as well. How many people in the UK are near peat bogs? Okay, I know there's loads in Ireland, especially. There's some here in Wales. I'm not sure about anywhere else. Let me know where you are if you've got peat where you are, because that is literally a final backup should everything go crazy. Okay, hard or illegal to get firewood. I know it sounds draconian, but look at the penal laws that happened in Ireland a long time ago. If you was if you was found to be picking up sticks off of the floor in the forest and you was caught, guess what? You were stealing from God's land. Yeah. Some people were killed for picking up firewood sticks. The laws were so bad, the penal laws in Ireland were so bad. Why do you think lots of the doors and the houses and the windows were so small back then? There was an air tax put on by the idiots running England at the time, a tax on air. So small windows, windows blocked up, incredibly crazy. Then you had the potato famine. It was disgusting what happened. So any of you think that nothing's going to happen, think what's happened in history. You've probably been quite lucky that nothing crazy like that has happened to you. It's only a matter of time. There's only one way this is going, unless we do something about it. Like I said, stay to the end of this live stream, which is not far away now. It's incredible. In fact, I need to do another live stream because I've only covered one sheet out of 9 sheets of notes. There's so much which is leading towards this civil war, okay? And it is coming. You'll be crazy to disagree. All the ingredients are there. It's just a matter of time now, okay? Unbelievable. Who knows oil, okay? Oil wells, when they drill down and they find an oil well, it's filled up with oil. I've done a survey. They drain it, so it's empty. Guess what? They come back to the same site, the same well, between 10 and 15 years later, that is completely filled up again. Okay, so all of this peak oil nonsense is completely contrived. It's nonsense. It's BS. Absolutely. The earth sustains itself, therefore sustains us. It is natural. It's absolutely fine to use. And why they are pushing all these renewable stuff is beyond me. Crazy. It might work if you had a global population of 2 billion people. But because we've got 8, nearly 9 billion people, it's never going to work. Not a chance. It can't work. And it's foolhardy as well, because it's not natural. Look at China. Look at what they're doing. Look at their coal industry. They're building coal-fired power stations on a regular basis. The amount of emissions that's coming out of these manufacturing plants and power plants in China is through the roof. Yet it's okay for them to do it. And look at the UK. Now, did you know this? The UK contributes 1% to climate chaos. 1%. It's negligible. So if we got that 1% down to like a quarter of a percent, do you really think it's going to make a frigging difference to the planet's environment? Bearing in mind how blatantly bloody disgusting China is abusing that system. But with all of that being said, it doesn't harm the planet at all. All of these things that are changing in the climate, it's nothing to do with human beings. It's nothing to do with CO2 whatsoever. It's all complete BS. There are people speaking out against this. Who remembers David Bellamy? Wow, undergrowth. David Bellamy, absolute legend, absolute genius, very passionate, very down to earth, kind, clever man. He got cancelled big time because he was speaking out about all of this nonsense, what they're doing with the climate. Okay, he spoke out against it and he got massively shadow banned, like I'm getting right now. He got cancelled, everything. And guess what? We had the birth of David Attenborough. Oh, yes. But David Attenborough, what an absolute mouthpiece that guy is for the World Economic Forum. Unbelievable. Yes, check it out. He's spoken on many of their conferences regarding climate. David Attenborough, no, not for me. absolutely on board with the agenda, and the agenda is no friends of us. What about Al Gore? That guy from the WEF as well, the World Economic Forum. Al Gore, the inconvenient truth. Who watching right now was at school at the time when that film come out? That film has been debunked so many times. It's absolute nonsense what that guy was saying about the climate. Every 10 years, have you noticed? Every 10 years, there's a fear thing, okay? We're going to have acid rain. You remember acid rain in the 90s? Um, we're all going to be underwater by 2012 or whatever it is. Greta Thunberg, that little school kid who literally bunked off school. That's the wait for her. Absolutely controlled. What an idiot, basically. Every 10 years, they change it. So over the last 50 years, every single 10 years, there's something else. Climate change, sea levels, temperature rising, all of the rest of it, acid rain, nothing happens. And guess what? Nothing's going to happen. But if they can use that as an excuse to control people and to make a potload of money at the same time, absolutely they will. All this is doing is going right back to the start of the live stream where it's dividing people into two groups. When you've got these two groups really, really rocking and ready to go, there will be a civil war. There's no other way around it. And let me tell you this, that's exactly what they want. And we do know that the left, like I described right at the beginning of the live stream, they're absolutely going to be having their back from government, military, and police. So if you want, we are on the sort of smaller side. We haven't got the backup of the police and the military. But who knows? Maybe when the time comes, lots of people in the police and the military will break ranks side of us. That does look like it's going to be possible, actually. The amount of people leaving the force is at an all-time high. They're struggling like hell to recruit, and that's in the military too. In the army, the RAF, and the navy, they're struggling to get new recruits, mainly because the money is so crap. Um, the threats and all the rest of it is so high. And to be honest, trying to be a police officer in this day and age, trying to uphold these ridiculous, unpopular, stupid laws, it's a nightmare. So guess what? It's naturally going to happen. So all of these things are leading towards a civil war at some point. I don't know where, I don't know when it's going to start, but it is going to start because looking at all of the data and information, there's no way out of it. There is one way, and it's everyone needs to forget everyone's differences and unite as one. I'd love to see that one day. But the way it's going, you know what it's like trying to wake people up. It's like banging their head against a bloody brick wall. It's a nightmare. So adding into all of that mix, which is pushing these two sides in opposite directions, you've got shoplifting, big time. Everything's gone up. Of course, people can shoplift. People get desperate. They're going to have to eat. Food banks are a joke. They're pretty much non-existent. And you add on a million plus easy of all these bloody migrants over here now, draining all of these bloody food banks, etc. Unbelievable. So with inflation goes hand in hand with shoplifting, crime, drug abuse, theft. Also, new security guards have been seen in and outside some food shops. Let me know if you've seen security guards at your local Tesco's or Sainsbury's or wherever it is. Have you seen that recently? I've seen it where I am, and I believe maybe because it's come up to Christmas, and I do know a lot of addicts go out there and steal to order. Christmas is a big bumper time for them, so naturally, it's probably normal that they're going to have security. But it does appear that it's a higher level than it was before 2020. Definitely changed. You've seen smaller shops like Coles having security on the door and work patrols within the store. Unbelievable. Who has seen video evidence of gang shop raids? Okay, we're having groups of mainly males, 10, 20 at a time, all go into a store at the same time, create a lot of surprise, a lot of noise, a lot of fear, and they just grab whatever they need. They already walked around the shops before, they know where to go to make it really quick. In there, boom, get the stuff, gone. That's happening loads. Okay. Even though food shops are insured, their premiums are going up every year, and they've got no real choice other to either A, dip into their profits and their shareholders' profits, which they're not going to do, and B, pass the price increase on to the customer, us. And that's what you're seeing with this inflationary rises, especially within food shops and supermarkets. Okay. What about who remembers seeing security tags on cheese and butter and stuff like that? Yeah, incredible. That's how desperate people are getting now. Nuts. Unbelievable. Who's seen the absolute huge increase in the decline of independent businesses, okay, gone bust. In America, they call them mom and pop stores. Over here, we call them family run businesses, okay? We've had local butchers and stuff, they've been in the game for 50, 60 years. Gone for good, okay? It's happening everywhere. Are you seeing stuff where you are in your local high street? Have you seen what they're calling it officially is a failing town? Okay, so if you don't know what a failing town is, you're basically looking at not much at all in the means of independent businesses, chain stores, chain shops. Okay, all of the big chain shops. Okay, lots of them in a high street. So basically, back in the day, you'd go to a high street, and every high street would be unique to every single town. Now, they're just like a photocopy of every town. Every town's gonna have a Costa. Every town's gonna have bloody a little co-op store. They're just copies. It's soul destroying, it's ridiculous, it's all by design. So you'll see an increase in chain shops, a decrease in independent businesses, an increase in charity shop, bookies, so gambling folk, pawnbrokers, so you've got the CEX kind of game shops. What's the other place? Cash converters, and all of these places, pound shops, Poundland, Pound Stretcher, etc. Loads of those. They, by definition, are calling these towns having these changes as failing towns. Okay, unbelievable. Now we can talk about meat, councils, local government, emergency alert, laws, rights, privacy and freedoms, and supply chain issues and finance. Those are all of the topics up for debate, but unfortunately, not now. We've run out of time. So, like I said at the start of the live stream, what can you do about all of this stuff coming down the road? What can you do? What are you prepared to do? And when are you going to do it? Big questions need to be asked. Now, from personal experience, the only way that you are going to grow as a person in life is you have to take risks. You have to. If you don't take any risks in anything, you are just existing. You're not living at all. You have to take a risk. I took a huge risk coming out here, living in this way. I took a huge risk talking about this stuff on my YouTube channel, but I'm doing it. You have to take risks. You have to do something. But you've got to be really careful when you're in a position like I am in social media with a half decent following that is not insightful. Okay. I start going online and telling people, like, do this, 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 and this, and this. Okay? You have to come to your own conclusions. You have to be prepared what you are going to do in order to do your part, to do your bit to make a positive change in this negative world. Okay. One of the things that you can do is use cash. Now, bear with me a sec. I've just got something to show you. Aha! That's happened before. There we go. Yeah, 20 quid note. But observe, okay? It's not an ordinary £20 note. This is a bit of a thing here in Wales. Let me know if you've seen this yourself. People can buy these, lots of them, I think free or very, very cheap. They leave them like this. When someone walks along, at a glance, they're going to go, oh my God, look, there's 20 quid on the floor. No, don't be fooled. Keep cash alive. Say no to central bank digital currency. And there is a website address there, cashisfreedom.uk. Okay. What this is doing is this is spreading awareness. We spoke about this before. Okay. It's going to come to a point where it's going to have to go old school because we are fully aware, well, most of us are, about how draconian things are changing in the UK right now. We're talking predominantly about the Online Safety Act. It was a bill, now it's an act. It's an act of Parliament, it's now law. That gives the government and their agencies the right to go into anyone's phone and snoop and look at whatever they're doing. There's no more private encryption no more. There is at the moment, but these days are very numbered, okay? I suspect next year we're gonna see a switch go on, and all of the companies like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Signal, they are going to leave the UK next year. So how are you going to spread awareness without those free apps? How are you gonna do it? Like we said, the only way you can get around the digital surveillance infrastructure is to go old school, okay? Posters, leaflets, etc. Okay? It's happening. I know people already, and what they do, and now every week they go around with stickers and they're sticking them all over the place. Places like where lots of people are going to spend time, okay? Bus stops, outside public toilets. Everyone needs to use a public toilet when there's one available, which is very rare. All of these places are having stickers put up, posters, people are being given leaflets, people are putting stickers inside buses and trains, train stations. Wherever there's people, the awareness is spreading. Now, I am not associated or affiliated with this company in any way at all. I don't know nothing about them. This was given to me to look into because I thought it's quite cool. I've not had a chance to it, but I thought I'd at least show it to you because these sorts of things I think are awesome because we need to make people aware that the only sort of freedom we have at the moment is we have cash. Okay. Some of you may think it's insignificant. Okay. Cash is more powerful than lots of people realize, especially the younger generation. Okay. The younger generation probably just don't get it because they've been so heavily indoctrinated within the education system, they wouldn't even question it. Or a young person would want, not all of them, but some of them, majority perhaps, I don't really know. All they want is convenience. Okay. So you've probably seen it, the teenager going into a shop, getting their phone and going, beep, yep, just bought it. Great. Oh, fantastic. That's really, really cool. And of course, it's really convenient. But that transaction has just been shared with organizations. Who? We don't really know. We can't tell. There is chances that that information can be hacked. That information can be sold on or given to a third party. They can have the information and hold you ransom via ransomware. They can put that software into your phone, etc. No, cash is always the way forward. So my advice, if you want to make a difference, is to use cash as much as you can. Okay. Now, this is in the notes, which I'm going to talk about on another live stream. I might have to do a follow-up live stream. I don't know when, but probably soon, because there's lots more to talk about this civil war coming up, right? It's all these little things which are going into the ingredient mixture to provide a perfect civil war cake, if you want to call it that, okay? That's what they're doing. All of these ingredients are literally out there right now, and it's working. It's dividing people, and it's working. It's growing like crazy. You've got to be blind not to see it. And if you look at YouTube channels, official YouTube channels of mainstream media outlets, all of the comments, most of them now have been removed, stopped, so you can't comment. If you go to the royal family YouTube channel, you can't comment. That's crazy. In a decent, fair, open, honest society, I'm pretty sure that the royal family would welcome people to leave comments on the YouTube videos that they produce. So if you think the heads of the state, the sovereign beings, or whatever they are in the royal family, why are they stopping people from commenting? Why is there that cancel culture? It's going on all of the time. So, like I'm saying, there's more people aware of this crap that's going on than you might realise. You might think sometimes, bloody hell, my family think I'm mad. I'm the only one. You're not. There's loads of other people in the same boat everywhere. And let me tell you this: there's so many people who are aware of what's going on than you realise. There really, really is. So cash is just one of them. Okay, cash is just one way where you can do something to voice your opinion. Every time that someone does a video or a post on some social media network saying about a petition about certain things, go for it. All you need is 150,000 signatures. Okay, 150,000 people sign it. That goes to Parliament. It gets debated. That project stalls for a while, and that gives people time to contact their MPs, go down the legal route, and do as much as they can. Okay? What that does is it slows down this. I think David Icke called it once. It's like you're walking down this big corridor of doors, and every time you go through a door and it shuts behind you, you can never open that door again. You need to make sure you don't go through them doors because they want you to go through these doors. What the government and the people who are telling the government what to do, whoever you think they are, whatever you want to call them, please don't call them the elites. Don't give them any power. They're power hungry, egotistical, psychopathic maniacs as it is, without loads of people calling them elites. Don't call them elites, call them arseholes, because they're arseholes, really, aren't they? Everyone's got one, they've got more. Right. So these people pulling the strings. Yes, there are way more of us than there is of them. More and more people are waking up to this stuff, and hopefully, we get to a point where we can prevent this civil war from happening. Because they had one in America a long time ago. The Blues and the Greys, we all know what happened there. And oh my God, if you think we're not going to see a civil war in this country, think again. Like I said, all of the ingredients are there. And I wish I had more time to go into all of these notes. We're literally probably about a third of the way through what I wanted to talk about. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to call that a day soon. But before we do, oh my God, we have got new member, Crypto Whale. I remember you. Yes, I remember you. Good to see you. Awesome. Um, oh my God, look at this donation. That's incredible. You guys who have donated, thank you so much. And I'm sorry I haven't mentioned you as we went through. I thought I'd leave that to the end because it does sort of stop me or slow me in my flow. And sometimes things get missed, and then we are talking important stuff. So you guys, without people donating, it's really difficult. Because like I said, I'm doing this by myself. Research, I haven't got a team or anything like that. I would donate if and when I can help brother or sister out. By the way, I'm totally not a sheep. Oh, respect. Yeah, thank you for that donation. That's from a member as well. That's extra special. That's incredible. We have got Scott as well. Wow, from Australia, by the look of it. Thank you for that donation. That's from a member as well. We have got a really good member network in there. And we've got Andy in the UK, another member. Thank you for that donation, sir. Seriously appreciate it. And Owen as well. Knowledge, a con, I want my money back. What's that mean? I really don't understand that. But thanks anyway, I think. We got HS, that's NOK. I think that's Hong Kong. I'm not sure. Thanks. Speak the truth. Love it. Yes, we do need to speak the truth. People need to start standing up, sticking their neck out a little bit. Because all the time we don't do anything, this horrible agenda looks like it's coming into fruition. And it's the last thing we want. If you've got kids or grandkids, what sort of world do you want them to live in? Children are the future. And if we don't do anything to give them a half decent future, then it's our fault. We're the adults here. Kids can't do anything. It's just not fair. Dear Docs, thank you for becoming a member. Awesome. That was one of the O-Like winners. Fantastic. David as well, become a member. Thank you very much. And we have got Sarah Lou. Thank you for becoming a member. That's brilliant. We got loads now. Awesome. And we got Owen again. Please continue. Got to go. Yeah. Thanks for that, brother. Really appreciate that. Absolute legend. Also, oh my God, we've got people on PayPal. You guys are showing lots of love, saying Merry Christmas and get yourself a drink, etc. That's from Terry. Thank you for that donation. And James, much appreciated, James. Really, really appreciate that. And OMG, we've got Antonio. You are a legend for you. Antonio, I really appreciate that donation. That was very generous, sir. Thank you so much. That's absolutely amazing. So there we have it. The civil war. Is it brewing? Is it going to happen? Is it preventable? Let me know what you think in the chat. Let me know in the comment section. It'd be really cool. And if you wanted to, if I can find it, um, where is it? There it is. If you want to send me an email, absolutely. The response I got from the video I done a few days ago has been phenomenal. You guys are incredible. And the stuff coming in about the next pandemic, that is insane. We are looking, the training exercise dictates that that fictional scenario could be coming to fruition in 2025. I remember seeing someone in the chat earlier that they think 2025 is going to kick off big time. I agree. But before it does, I think November next year, so 12 months less, next year is going to be huge, massive. But don't forget, before then, we have got the Paris Olympics. Watch and learn on the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics next year. Okay. Any of you guys remember seeing the London Olympics in 2012? I did. I watched the whole thing. I recorded the whole thing. They absolutely outlined every single thing which happened in 2020, right down to Boris Johnson in hospital, all of that stuff. Nurses dancing around. It was all done as a ritual in front of lots of people on a special date with the pyramids all on the top of the stadium. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes, the Paris Olympics. It really is going to be something to keep an eye on. So don't forget, guys. Okay. Everyone who's donated tonight, really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Oh my God. It's the videographer guy again. Thank you for that, sir. You're a star. Wow. Regular as well. BCTV in the house. Fantastic. And every single one of you who has taken part in the live stream tonight, I really appreciate all of you who took the time to interact. It's a good way to meet up with other folk as well. Lots of people come here, they join the community, some become members, and don't forget, members get early access to all of the videos, and they stand out loads, and they get shout outs and stuff. And there's John, right there, John. Good to see you. And it's just incredible. It's got a really good community now, and lots of you people are sharing this information, which really, really means a lot. Okay, if you can, before you go, hit the thumbs up because lots of people forget. If you hit the thumbs up, it sort of ensures that lots more people get to watch this because we're really keen on recording people's viewpoints in these truly rich historical times. Like I said, time and time again, this is a great way of doing it. And God help us all that these videos don't get taken down. Some people copy my videos. In fact, I've got two guys who download every single video that I do. I've got my own on my external hard drive as backup. I'm on Odyssey. All of my YouTube videos get put on there. So all of this stuff is being spread, stored all over the place. So the message will get out. I'll get deplatformed. I'm going to find a way. You'll probably see me in Odyssey, all right? But all of that stuff aside, you guys who are taking part in the chat and the comment section, respect to all of you. And I know we've had some trolls and some idiots in there, but hey, when you speak the truth, you always get the idiots come out of the woodwork, and all they do is they just make themselves look an idiot. So don't reply to them. Just let them stay there and let people think they're an idiot, because every time you give trolls energy, it gives them power. And the last thing you want to do is to give a troll power. When we look at David Cameron, what a troll. Look at the power he's got all of a sudden. Don't give him power. Right? So yeah, you guys who took part, brilliant. All of you who donated, you're freaking incredible. And I'll tell you what, going up to Christmas, Tom's really tight, so you really help. I really appreciate that. Every one of you who's donated on all of the platforms, fantastic. And lastly, but not least, the moderators. Without the moderators, oh my God, can you imagine how crazy it's going to be in the live chat? It would just be bonkers. Okay, it will be absolutely bonkers. So all of you moderators, can everyone give a shout out to the moderators and say thanks, because they do a really good job. They seriously are, and lots of them are regulars too, which is really, really cool. It's epic to see. So, all of that being said, stay tuned for more videos. We're going to be doing probably another live to catch up with this at some point soon. So make sure that your notification bell is set to all notifications before you go. Because if you miss the next live stream, you're going to have to watch in the replay and you won't be able to take part in the live chat with all of the other cool members in this community. You guys are incredible. So have a nice weekend. Stay warm. Take care. Stay funky.